Julius Randle. Great
I
regular
thought you were
season.
going to open I thought you were going to open that with Julius.
I was trying to save it. I was trying to save it because, I've been talking about it so much since the season's been over, since right after the game ended and fans wanted to run him out of town. All-star season, third team All NBA, but again, playoff demons kind of haunted him. He had an ankle injury. You could put that on him. Had some tough matchups with Evan Mobley and Bam Adebayo, two of the best defensive big men in the game. What do you think, like I said, fans are ready to run this guy out of town. What do you think is a market looks like for Julius Randle at this point?
I think it's still strong. I know. I know we can go back to the Atlanta series in 21 and we can look at Miami. And, there was a point in the Heat, I think it was game 6, where it kind of just summed up everything. Him and Brunson were in the corner together. I'm thinking, like, why are you with Jalen in the corner, right? Like, you're basically like, like you're kind of in hiding here.
Yeah.
He's got 3 years left on that extension. It's a good number. I mean, the reality of it, it's still a really good number. And yes, is he your number 2 guy on a championship team? Probably not. Right. I mean, that's the reality of it. I think he's had a really good regular season. He justified it with the All-Star honor. He's a, $26-27 million player. Guy can give you 28, 30 points. Right. I mean, that's the reality of it. Now, I think it's a matter of what other pieces are around him for whoever is acquiring him. Like if you're going out to trade him and him being your number 1 guy, your number 2 guy, I think that's probably the long way to go about it. But I think for New York, it's interesting because like, I'm not sold on Obi being like your full-time.
Me neither.
Starter, right? Like that's like, and that's the other thing, like, him and Quickly are extension eligible. And I think Emmanuel, I think you could possibly get something done there. Mm-hmm. But with Toppin, like, what's the direction you're going with? What's his role going forward? I think there's been moments here, but as you know, like, I'm not ready to play him 30, 35 minutes and then basically shuttle Randle off. So what's your options there? But I think, hey, if Randle's on the roster when training camp opens, it's not the end of the world. I mean, he's still a really good player here, but I think you're probably more open to listening to teams this year than maybe you were in prior years. Certainly last year, his value was really low, right?
Yeah,
He's come off of not a great year here, but I'm not, as I said, I'm not ready to kind of kick him out the door, but I do think you have to be open to listening to what's out there.